So about 110 years later, after the fall of Numenor, Sauron, his body died after the singing of Nemarie. He drowned, but his spirit managed to return to Mordor. And in that time between, you had Elendil come up here to Lindon, and in the south, Isildur and Anarion landed at Pelargir, and then they made their own towers. So Anarion made Minas Anor, which becomes Minas Tirith, but Minas Anor and Minas Ithil is where Isildur made his fortress, and both and the capital of Gondor was in Osgiliath. So in the year 3429, Sauron left Mordor and went to finish off the Númenóreans once and for all. So he attacked Minas Ithil, and there he took control of the city of Minas Ithil. He pushing everyone out really. So Isildur, his wife, and his kids managed to flee, and with a seedling of the white tree in Minas Ithil, and they sailed down the Anduin and came out, and they would have sailed all the way up and came up to the Grey Havens to meet with his father. And Anarion remained in Gondor, and from Osgiliath he defended the country from Sauron. So what is it? In the year 3430, Elendil made with his ally King Gil-galad. They made the last alliance of elves and men, and so from Lindon they marched to where is it? There it is, to Weathertop, Avon Sul, which becomes Weathertop later on, and then they end up at Imladris, where Elrond had his northern fortress. And from Imladris, they stayed there for about 3 years, planning the coming invasion. And then after those 3 years, they left by various passages. They had the High Pass and the Caradras through. No, they couldn't have gone through khazad-dum. Anyway, they came over, and they were joined by Orather, who was in Greenwood Great with his son Thranduil. You had Andir from Lorien, the dwarves of khazad-dum. Whether any other dwarves fought is not quite clear, and that is on both sides. Whether there were some dwarves helping Sauron, and other dwarves with the last alliance, but definitely the dwarves of khazad-dum were there. Who else? So the elves under Gil-galad, Orather, Andir, the men under Elendil and Isildur, they crossed over the Misty Mountains, and they were coming down, and they came to the Brown Lands, as we're called, but these lands had been made desolate by Sauron, who had destroyed all the green fields and all the farmland here, and the Entwise, unless he kept some of those captive and took them down to Nern. That's a different tale. It was a measure to keep supplies from the alliance. But anyway, they kept coming south, and then they were met by Anarion's horse of Gondorians, but Sauron was already here waiting in the fields of Dagolad to do battle. So the Battle of Dagolad was the earliest skirmish that the elves and men fought against the orcs of Mordor. You had Orather from Greenwood the Great. The wood elves there, the Sylvan elves, were somewhat less equipped than the western kin, and with probably less discipline. They attacked the orcs before Gil-galad actually gave the order, and so most of quite a good number of the Sylvan elves of the Greenwood were killed off, including Orather himself. So Thranduil, his son, took command and like left. The Elves of Lorien under Andir, they were cut off from the main host, and so they fled and ended up in the Dead Marshes. And the bodies that Samwise and Frodo and Gollum would see, the elves would have been mostly them. But slowly but surely, after many days and nights, the Alliance slowly pushed the orcs and servants of Sauron back through the Cirith Gorgor and came back into Mordor. So it comes to the siege of Barad-dur. After the Alliance came into Mordor, they followed the orcs and pushed them all the way back to Barad-dur. Now, even though a good many of the host of Sauron was destroyed at Gil-galad and this area, the vast numbers were still present. So the Alliance kept them in Barad-dur for 7 years, between 3434 to 3441. What was it called? Isildur's sons Aratan and Cirion, they were sent off back to Minas Ithil to sort of guard it against any sorties that might come and try and break through the Spider Pass. What was his name called? Elendil. Isildur's eldest son Elendil stayed with him all the way till the end in Barad-dur, but the Alliance couldn't destroy Barad-dur because it was filled with the magic of the power of Sauron, I guess. So nothing short of the Valar could actually destroy it. So they kept it under siege for 7 years, and then in 3441, Sauron himself came out to fight. If you remember from the film and that, he comes out to fight, and he and his orcs managed to push the Alliance all the way back, and they come to Mount Doom, where they have the last stand. So we have the siege of Barad-dur. After 7 years, Sauron himself came out and fought, and they pushed the Alliance back to Mount Doom, and here they had the last stand. So we have it where Gil-galad and Elendil fight Sauron in single combat, so to speak. And on the sidelines there was Elrond, Isildur, Anarion, Círdan, and that was it. Plus other people, of course. Gil-galad and Elendil were killed by Sauron, but Sauron was also felled at that time. Underneath Elendil, his sword broke, and Isildur picks up his father's sword, Narsil, and cuts the finger off of Sauron where he wore the One Ring, and thus all his power was taken from him, and he couldn't take physical form after that. And that is pretty much the main battle itself. Of course, there's events after that with Isildur and the Ring, but that'll come into his video. So technically, really, that's the end of the Second Age. The fall of Sauron, the taking of the One Ring. All the orcs become a bit, they don't know what to do, so they don't do anything. Sauron's defeated, and that's the end of the Second Age. Nemarie.